The bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot. Michael Altshuler. On today's episode, I want to share with you the talk I gave recently at the Fearless Entrepreneur Summit all around time management and ways to reclaim your time. We all only have 24 hours in a day. Are you using them in the most efficient way? Let's talk about it. You have the power to be the boss of your own life. I'm your host, Monica Allen. I'm a wife, mom, entrepreneur, best-selling author, lifelong learner, and your biz bestie. I have a love and passion for all things small business. Growing my own company from $700 to over 7 figures annually, my goal is to bring you inspiration, business-focused topics and tips, encouragement, and a community that helps you launch, grow, and scale your business, whether you are a dreamer, a side hustler, or a seasoned entrepreneur. You are listening to the Become Your Own Boss podcast. This episode is brought to you by Zeus's Closet. Do you and your team wear clothes with your company's logo on them? Do you give your clients or customers promotional products to help them remember you and your company? At Zeus's Closet, we are like a tattoo shop for your clothes. We help many companies provide their entire team with branded apparel for themselves and promotional products to leave with clients and customers. Wearing branded apparel help colleagues feel like part of a team and make your company look more professional. Right now, you can save 15% on our Solopreneur package, which includes 3 polo shirts and 2 button-down shirts with your company logo simply by using the promo code BOSS. That's BOSS, B-O-S-S, at checkout. You can order a package for each team member so everyone has a shirt for each day of the week. See the link in the show notes to access the discount. Journey with me. You're standing up, it's hot, you're sweating, and you're waiting. You're with a friend, a significant other, or your entire family. Time is passing and you've been standing here for almost an hour. You can hear the screams and laughter of people enjoying the thrill of the ride. There are many twists and turns ahead of you. You stand with anticipation, talking to your party, waiting on your turn to ride the latest and greatest roller coaster at Six Flags, Disney, or some other large amusement park. Well, this past summer, I had one of the best experiences at an amusement park I've ever had. My husband, Ethan, decided that we would pay a bit more and get Fast Pass when we went to Universal Orlando. We decided to go all out because we had been at home without any type of vacation in over a year. So we decided to stay on property and get Fast Pass, which allowed us early access to some of the most popular rides and to skip the line of many others. We got in more ride time and a lot less wait time. Our family is an amusement park family. Our kids love them. We have a goal to hit all of the great ones here in the U.S. over the next 7 years before my daughter graduates from high school. I wanted to share this Fast Pass experience with you because after that experience, I literally said that I could never go back to just standing in a normal line again. And I realized when I look at my life, Ethan and I have actually tried to fast pass many areas of our lives. And this was just so cool because we saved time. No, we did spend more money, but we saved time and we got more in. So it made me start to think, how else have I fast passed my life? How else have I gained my time, reclaimed my time? And so I wanted to share that with you all today because as entrepreneurs, we're like everyone else. We only have 24 hours in the day and sleep is vital. Sleep is super important. And I came up with this acronym called DOTS, and I wanted to share that with you. So the D is for delegate. I have delegated household chores. Household help is actually can be a little bit cheaper than you think. I have a college student that comes in. She does the laundry. She folds the clothes. She puts them away for the entire family. She's also a pretty good cook, so she'll cook and spruce up around the house. She makes sure trash bags are in the trash cans, paper towels and tissue is refilled weekly. And then we also have a cleaning company that comes in once a month to do the heavy lifting, the deep cleaning. Early on, especially after having our first child, I had to decide what was important to me. And me actually spending time with my kids and playing with them was way more important than me folding clothes while they ran around me, which is what often happened. On Saturdays, I would be folding and putting clothes away, and they would be running around playing. And I'm like, I want to play with them too. And of course, we also delegate things at the office. We have a production team, a shipping and receiving manager, a purchasing manager, and I just hired 2 part-time admin assistants, which I'm very excited about, because I can now delegate some of those tasks that I've taken back on during COVID, but they really bring me no joy. So I'm going to delegate those. Yes, I'm so excited about that. The O in dots is for outsourcing. And you may think that delegating and outsourcing are the same, and they are very similar. But for me, I put delegating in the bucket of I'm delegating to people that I hire. And with outsourcing, I am finding people to outsource projects to. So I very well may not know who that person is, or I might, but it's a little bit different. They're not my employee. So I think about that as outsourcing. One of my biggest things that I outsource, and we've been doing this for probably 4 years now, is grocery shopping. We use Instacart. And I know a lot of people think, well, I have got to pick out my own produce. And that's fine. I get it. But I save so much time. For example, I looked at a receipt that I received, because a lot of times the Instacart drivers will actually put the receipt from the store in the bag. And I know that everything on Instacart is an upcharge. Totally get it. Makes sense. It's a business. They have a business model. But I looked at the receipt from the store and I looked at my receipt on Instacart. The difference was literally $20 and some change. Now, when I think about this, $20 and some change versus me getting in the car, packing up the kids, or not, they may stay at home with their dad, but either way, me getting in the car, packing up everything that I'm going to take, or everyone, going to the grocery store, wandering around the aisles, checking off the list, and then coming back, putting the stuff away. That's at least an hour to 2 hours out of my life. So I ask you, what is your hourly rate? If your hourly rate is more than $20, outsource your grocery shopping, because regardless, you could be doing something that's more valuable. Unless grocery shopping is a cathartic self-care type of thing for you, then go for it. But it's not for me. I really don't like it. And I'll also say that for me, I feel like I break even because when I go in a store, I often pick up things that I don't need. I buy them because they're on BOGO or they're on sale or whatever the case may be. And with Instacart, I don't do that. I put the stuff in the cart. They don't bring me anything more and typically not less unless they're out of something. So I do that. Another way I outsource is I have a virtual assistant. Hannah has been in my life now for almost 8 years. She's great. She does a lot of the little tasks that I don't have time to do or that I just really don't like doing. She will do those things for me. She'll even make my kids' doctor's appointments or dentist appointments. And so that's very helpful. So outsourcing is awesome. So outsourcing is a great way to save you time and allow you to use that time for something else. Another thing that I want to add about delegating and outsourcing, and I found this to be very difficult for me early on, was to take the time to train someone and also to get over the fact that someone is probably not going to do it 100% the way that I would do it. And I had to settle on the fact that if someone is able to do a task, and I'll use Instacart as an example, if someone is able to do a task about 85 to 90% of how I would do it, I'll take it if it saves me time. And with Instacart, yes, the produce may not always be what I would have selected. The great thing about Instacart is you can report it as not great and they'll give you a credit for it. And, or, they may pick out something, an alternative that you don't like. But I find that people who work at Instacart are very communicative, so they will try their best to get you what you want But as someone who is definitely can be a little bit controlling, I had to let some things go if I wanted to scale my business, because I can't do it all. Ethan can't do it all. And it's really important for you to let some things go as your business grows. Otherwise, you will be stuck. You will stay where you are or run yourself crazy. And so you will have to make a decision on what's the percentage that you will take for someone to do the job and take on the role that may not be 100% like you would do it. But that's a decision for you, of course, to make for yourself. I just wanted to share that because I definitely had a hard time with that in the beginning. But I had to let it go because I knew I didn't want to stay a 6-figure business. T is for technology and tools. We, of course, are all walking around with technology in our pockets, which is fabulous. And we have so many tools available to us that can streamline almost everything that we do. And so I want to specifically go over time-saving tools for me. The one that I use the most at our office, it's a few of them. The first one I'll talk about is Trainual, which makes training new hires and team members easier. One of the things that is so difficult for me, or used to be so difficult for me, is training is draining. And so oftentimes when we hired someone new, there would be a lot of time that went into training, and there's still time that goes into training. But Trainual really helps streamline the process because we can put every standard operating procedure for every department in this program. People can log in, they can be assigned specific tasks to go over, they can take quizzes so we know how they understood the material, and they can go back and look at it and implement it as they work. So love Trainual. Another tool that we use at the office is Ryver. Ryver is a communication tool that we use as a team. It's similar to Slack, and it allows us to communicate easily amongst each other. Another is Calendly. I think so many of us have implemented Calendly in the past couple of years. It makes making appointments so much easier. You reduce all the back and forth of what will be a good time to get together or do something. You just send someone your Calendly link and they can make an appointment or set the time. And of course, there are other comparable resources like Calendly out there. But we use that one for our customers to book appointments, and I also use it for my podcast guests to book a time to set up their interview. Another tool that saves me so much time is Hireology. I can remember the hiring process being so daunting for me. People would send in their resumes, they'd come into my email inbox. Yes, I would filter them to specific folders, but then it was the back and forth in the email where things just kind of got lost. But in Hireology, everything is kept in one place for each person who's applying. You can see all the communication back and forth. You can rate their interviews. You can give them tests and assessments, do background checks. It's just so nice to have it all in one place, easy to access. All of your job descriptions are there. All of the jobs that are currently out in the world for people to apply for is in there as well. So an absolutely great tool for our company. Another tool that I use is the Become Your Own Boss Planner that I developed a couple of years ago. It is very helpful to me because it allows me to really focus in on my annual goals and focus on those goals broken down monthly and then the task to accomplish them on a weekly basis. So that is something that I've been using now for almost 3 years, and it really helps me get things done. Saves me time to not have to think so much about, what should I do next? It's already written down. And then a couple of tools that we've used at our office and at home is Kaizen foam. Now, if you haven't heard of Kaizen foam, it's Kaizen, and it's something I learned about a few years ago when we as a company read a book called 2-Second Lean. And this book really talked about how you can shave off 2 seconds of time each day on a task. And ultimately, you save a great deal of time 2 seconds adds up over time. And so Kaizen foam, we have it at home in our drawer where we put our car keys and tape and scissors and little knick-knacky things that we need to get to and not have to search for. And you can cut out things in the shapes that you want them to be, and they all have a place. We have Kaizen foam in our production department because our production department has to use a lot of tools. And those tools, if they had to take time to look for tweezers and screwdrivers and things like that, it takes a lot of time and you're losing productivity. So the Kaizen foam keeps all of that stuff in one place. And then another thing is just a simple label maker. A label maker can save you so much time. We actually put labels in areas around the office so things get back to their proper place. So a tape measure, there's a label where it should go. So therefore, when you need a tape measure, you know exactly where it is and where to find it, and it saves you time. So those are just a few technology and tools that we use in our business and around our home to make life easier. And one of the things that my daughter uses constantly, and we use it as well, but she uses it constantly, is Alexa. She uses Alexa to remind her of everything. When she needs to jump on a virtual call, when she needs to do her homework, Alexa reminds her of a lot of things and it saves her some time. And lastly, the S in DOTS is for simplify. I have done everything I can to simplify my life in every area that I possibly can think of. And I'm constantly always trying to think of ways to simplify my life. But I'll give you a few examples. I've simplified my workout. I used to go to a large gym. I would drive 5 miles to get there. Then I switched to a boutique gym that was a bit closer, so I drove about 2.5 to 3 miles to get there. I really did like the boutique gym because the workout was less than an hour and I was simply told what to do. When I went to the larger gym, I had to figure out my workout, and oftentimes I get confused. I'm like, did I do legs yesterday or did I do arms? I don't remember. And so I had to simplify that. But truth be told, once COVID hit, I started working out at home. I joined Ethan's Six Pack Dads program, even though I know I'm not a dad, but it was very helpful for me to just be able to work out at home. I got a bike. I got a rower recently and added that to my repertoire of working out. And so I no longer have to drive somewhere. I save time. And I still have the ability to push myself to get my workout done every single day. So I simplified that. I've also simplified doing the podcast by batching my interviews and outsourcing my editing. Another thing that I did was we ended up buying an electric car, which has been great because I don't have to stop for gas. And I know, well, gas prices are going up tremendously. So that is very helpful from that perspective. But the time that I save not having to stop and get gas is phenomenal. And I love that. So I've simplified my life in lots of different ways. And I will tell you, we have been very intentional with simplifying things. For example, when we looked for our business building, we didn't want it to be very far from our home because neither one of us like traffic. Atlanta is huge and you can literally go 5 miles and it take you 30 minutes. So we have tried to create what we call our circle. And so our kids' school is 7 minutes from our house. Our office is about 10 to 12 minutes from our house. The activities that they take part in, we try not to venture out too far. And on one hand, somebody might think, well, you're limiting your kids from being able to do all of these things. But for me, I also have to have my sanity. And I really enjoy running my business as well. So I want to make sure that I'm able to do all the things, yet still give them opportunities to be in piano, to be in gymnastics, whatever they want to do. Ideally, I just like it to be within what I call our circle. Another way I've simplified my life is I do Target, Drive Up. I love Target. But guys, when I go in Target, I spend way more than I actually should or that I actually needed to. So I started doing Target Drive Up instead. And who doesn't have Amazon Prime? I don't know about you, but I love Amazon Prime. It can get you in trouble, but it's very, very helpful. I get coffee on Subscribe and Save. I get supplements on Subscribe and Save. It saves me time and it saves me money. So Amazon Prime has simplified my life as well. So I love the quote at the beginning of the podcast because we are the pilots. And if you begin implementing DOTS, I first recommend that you make a list of all the things you do in your business and personally and determine what you can delegate, what you can outsource, what you can push to specific tools, and what you can simplify. So you see, I'm always looking for ways to fast pass areas of my life so I can focus on what is important to me, which is accomplishing my goals when it comes to my family and my business. So ultimately, I can live the life that I want. I've said this before, my life word is legacy. I want to leave a legacy for my family with my businesses, but most importantly, I want to leave a legacy of memories. Memories of amusement parks and other fun family times. A legacy that will live on for generations to come. So I'm looking for ways to fast pass my life, and I hope this is helpful for you as well. And if you have some that you can share with me, I would love them. Again, I'm always looking for ways to simplify, add tools to my toolbox. If you have some to share, please share them with me. You can send me an email at monica@monicaallen.com. I would love to hear ways you have simplified or tools you've added or ways you've delegated or outsourced so you can spend more time doing the things that you love. And I will share them on the podcast because I think if we can all help each other streamline and be better, it'll just be a beautiful thing. Thank you for listening today. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Become Your Own Boss Podcast. If you have comments or questions, you can email me at monica@monicaallen.com. Would love to hear any of your tricks and tips for streamlining or fast passing your life. I would love that. Also, take a moment to leave a review on Apple or Audible and share the podcast with a friend. This is how the podcast grows. This is how we can make a difference in more entrepreneurs' lives. So please rate and review the podcast. Now is the time to level up, leave a legacy, and become your own boss.